Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Now we're going to have another pairing video today, and this is of a spider that I really do like. It's the Cyriopagopoeus minax, or the Thailand Black. Now, as the name suggests, these guys come from Thailand. They're an Asian fossorial spider, and they do come with a bit of a reputation, and they can be rather defensive. Now, we've seen a couple of odd things with them over the years, and that is one of the things that we've noticed is we don't see very many really big females, real big robust females, which is what these guys normally are. They are a very robust spider, and quite often people think they have an adult female, and then they're really not. They're quite small in comparison. When you see a big female, they really are quite a unit. We have a couple here. We've got 3 large females, and yeah, they really are something to see. Quite something special. Now, being a fossorial spider, we don't always see an awful lot of them. But we can encourage a little bit more activity from them through the feeding and the way we care for them and look after them. And as we've said in many of the other videos that we do, many of our fossorial spiders we see quite a lot of. You know, we'll either see them out at the entrance to their burrows, or sometimes, you know, when you're coming in, put the lights on in the morning, they're out and about and they're doing their thing. Now, many of the fossorial spiders are quite shy, so it's all about getting them to a comfortable position where they feel secure. Once they do that, they lose some of that shyness, and you will see a little bit more of them. They really are a spectacular, velvety looking black with the females, and as we said, very stocky spider, quite robust. And then when we see the males, these guys are sexually dimorphic when they go through, and then it's not until that very last molt and we see the males. They're like a brown, very light, spindly looking spider, designed for speed, and that is so they can get in, pair, and get out. And you will see that in this video. Now, the actual pairing video that we have today, it's hardly been edited at all. We probably knocked off about 10 minutes where our male literally just sat there and he's just taking stock of things. And this is quite a normal thing for these guys. They just get in, they sit down, hunker down. It takes a little while for them to settle down and get going. One of the most important things, if you're going to try and breed these particular spiders, which you should do if you've got a female and you feel capable of giving it a go, really do, because these just aren't bred in captivity very often. It's not to say that they're not, it's just not done very often. And they're one of them spiders that are collected in quite large numbers from the wild. So the more we can do in captivity, the better it is going to be for these spiders in the future. So yes, if you find yourself in a position, please do give it a go. But be careful with your males. Females are very hard on them. They don't always escape, and you've got to be very careful if you try and move your male, that you don't freak him out, because they are very shy, and they're very quick to explode into speed and just take off. So you have to be very aware of that. They are very fast, and like we said before, they are quite a defensive spider. Right, have a look at this video and you will see it will make sense what I'm talking about, and we'll have a little chat in a minute. Right, hope you enjoy. By the way, our male does make it out alive, so have no fear. Watch the whole video. He's perfectly safe. Right, I'll see you in a moment. Well, here we have our Cyriopagopoeus minax, or the Thailand Black. Now, these guys really are a truly beautiful spider. Absolutely wonderful. They're found in Thailand and Cambodia. and they are a tropical species. They live deep in burrows where they like it really moist. Now here's our male. We're just moving him over now. He's a little clumsy. Here he comes. You can clearly see the pedipalps on him. Now he'll be picking up pheromone. These guys are huge, huge webbers. Now this female here, she's a very large female. She's one of a couple of large females that we have. And we're hoping that he's going to be able to service the other couple of females that we have. Although this one, she is an absolute unit of a spider. Very, very big, very strong. She's not always the most friendly of spiders. As with many of the Asian fossorials, they're not renowned for their good manners. That's not to say that if we handle her gently, she isn't particularly bad. As you can see, they're a very, very pretty spider. Now she's in her temporary housing. And what we've done here is we've got a number of these spiders that are in these temporary like critter keeper type enclosures. And because they've been in them a little while now, and they've sort of set up home and everything else. So you can see there from the webbing, very, very extensive webbing. So what we decided to do is we would try and pair them in these enclosures. Once we've had them paired twice successfully, we will then move them to their fossorial setups where they can dig down and hopefully they can regulate their actual habitat down in the burrow, and this will be enough for them to encourage them to drop a sack, and hopefully we'll have some successful offspring. Now you can see our male there, he is literally just folded up in the corner. This is quite often the case for these guys. They come in, we have a little movement there. They'll come in, they'll sit tight for a little while, and then all of a sudden they look like wake up and they're like, right, let's get on with the job in hand. And that can be to their detriment. They don't always introduce themselves successfully. And we see a little bit of movement happening, very, very little though, hardly anything. Our female hasn't moved. She stayed put. Interesting behaviour from these guys. We find many of the fossorial spiders, the males behave just like this. It's almost like they're reluctant to actually show themselves until the very last moment. Oh, here we go. Now you see how he just lifted himself up then. He's now moving forward. Our female, this is looking dangerous. She has got her back to him. Oh, look at him reaching out. Oh, give us some indication you're there. Hardly, very little from him. Oh, oh. Whoa. Luckily, she turned round in quite a sedate manner. He didn't really introduce himself very well at all. And now we're straight into it. We've changed names. We've swapped phone numbers. And now he's doing the job in hand. Look at that. He has gone straight in there. Our female is like very compliant. Yeah, see how he's got that second pair of legs literally like around the base of the carapace there. You see how he's bending her into him? You can see the pedipalps underneath there now. You see how he's got that grip? So his front two legs are actually over the front of her second pair around the base of the carapace, and he's bending her in half. This is the grip that will probably save his life. Now we can see there, you can just about see then that the emboli were fully erect. They were ready for action. And you can see now he's feeling away. He's looking. He's just holding her. You see how she's flexing her fangs? Now she's got her back legs now are actually wedged in down below her. You can see now he's feeling. Here we go. There was insemination there. And he's away. Look at that. This is what we like to see. That frantic scratching. Look, she's all of a fuzzle now. That was what we would call an expert insemination. If only our brachypelmas were so enthusiastic. What a little stud he was. Now we did actually pair a Darlingi just before these, and the male walked in the same way and the female just munched him. It's incredible that he got away with no real introducing himself at all. Very, very lucky. There he is on the table, fit for another day. He obviously knows his stuff. There's not many of these bred in captivity, so it'd be really, really cool to actually get a successful sack. What an amazing pairing. Fabulous. Well, I did warn you, it's quite a short video. These guys literally got it on pretty much straight away. We moved our male in, and at first I was on the ready. I was in the wings waiting. I got my brush. I was waiting because our male, he literally went in, showed no signs of anything. Our female didn't move either. Females have a blisteringly fast food response, and they will spin round in an instant. It needs to be seen to be believed. They are so quick. Now, with our male, he didn't do any tapping, didn't do any vibrations. Oh, excuse me. Nothing. He didn't really show his presence to that female at all. And she didn't appear to know he was there either. And I was a little bit worried. When he literally woke up and just walked forward, I was like, oh no, you know, is he going to become dinner before he even get to do anything? Like I say, the food response on these girls is pretty impressive. But he literally walked forward. I was there above waiting, and then he literally just touched, and that was it. She came round nice and steady. So pointing to the fact that I think she knew he was there all along. She was just sitting tight waiting to see what his first move was going to be. And they got it on straight away. As soon as that contact came in, he was not intimidated by her at all. And he literally just pushed forward. They got into the embrace and away they went. And in no time at all, you saw where he inseminated her. Now, this is what we like to see with most of our spiders. We like to see them actually bend that female right over, and you see them hook the abdomen towards them. This is where the emboli has gone into the epigastric furrow. They literally push in and then they pull, and it pulls the abdomen towards that male, and that's what makes it look like that female is being folded up. This is what we like to see in many of our pairings, because this is a sure sign that you've had a really good insemination. Now, often or not, the female's reaction once he is finished and he's trying to escape, her reaction often is to try and grab him and kill him. And you saw there, he literally done it, and then you see him push at arm's length, and then he is gone. He's out of there. So very cool male. He done the job. He done a fantastic job. It's tempting to put him in again, but we do have two other big females. So I think we're going to call it a day with her. That was such a good insemination. I think we're just going to wait and see and leave it. These males, although they do come up, they are few and far between. We don't see them very often. So I think it's going to be prudent to try him with a different female next and see how that goes. Now, we often get asked about the conditioning of our spiders. With these guys, there isn't much in the way of conditioning in terms of temperature changes and things like that. We pretty much keep them as they are and stay the same. When it comes down to dropping the sacks, we may just add a little bit more moisture to the soil, bring up that humidity a little bit, and maybe just a little bit more warmth. We may warm them up, put them somewhere different on the shelf where they get a little bit of extra heat. We've got LED lights on our shelves, and although they're LEDs, they do actually give out a little bit of warmth. So sometimes we will put our females that are waiting to drop, we will put them over the lights so they get the warmth up through the wood. Just that couple of degrees can be enough to get our female to drop a sack. Now, apart from that, the only thing we do is we make sure that our female is well fed. And when there's any of these spiders that are prone to be heavy on the males, I will always give them a really good sized meal 24 hours before I intend pairing them. And this quite often will dull that food response that we were talking about earlier, because we don't want her spinning round and literally just thinking he's grub. So we give him a really good sized roach just 24 hours before we intend on pairing. And this normally does the trick. It's no more than that. We would have been steadily feeding them up anyway beforehand. We just want to give them that big boost right before they meet the male. Now, so yeah, we're gonna watch this space now with this one, see what happens. We're gonna keep an eye on them, and hopefully, she was actually in a critter keeper, which is what she's been in for the last couple of months. And you see there that she's actually not bothered to burrow down into it. She's webbed the whole thing up, and she webs the whole top up as well. So we end up destroying that when we take the top off. Now she's been paired, I'm thinking we will actually move her over, and we may well move her into one of the cereal boxes and put her in there and see if the higher humidity and the added warmth that we can give to that box through our shelving is going to be enough to actually get her to drop a sack. That would be really cool. And also as well, if they drop sacks within the cereal boxes, it's nice and easy to deal with them. It's not too bad, and we're not looking at moving tons of stuff to actually get to that egg sac. So I think the plan at the moment is to put her in one of the cereal boxes, I believe. I think that's what I'm going to do. And we'll see what happens. And then maybe one of the others we'll leave in a critter box and see how that goes. The only thing with the critter boxes is they dry out very, very quickly. I don't think they're particularly a great idea for moisture-loving spiders. They're just too much maintenance. You have to work too hard to maintain that moisture. So I think we'll probably maybe put one into a glass tank and see where that goes. See what happens. But yeah, much experimenting and to see what's going to be the best thing to do. And this is what spider keeping is all about. We want to be looking at testing new things, trying new things. You know, there's so much to learn. And we've done it now where we've bred spiders, and we've bred them and they've dropped sacks when they've been dry, they've dropped sacks when they've been wet. You know, we've done everything in between. They've still dropped sacks. So it's difficult to work out what is the optimum thing. But, you know, this is half the fun. This is where the enjoyment, the challenge, everything else is. And like we said earlier on, the minax or the Thailand Black are not really captively bred that much. So it would be really cool to provide some of our own, which are pure captive bred. There's many that come in that end up dropping a sack. So they've been bred in the wild, they've been brought in, and then they produce a sack. And people have been lucky enough that they've managed to get that sack to be viable, and they've hatched them out. That is not breeding them. That is not captive breeding. So although it's good because we've got them youngsters, those youngsters in that sack have, to all intents and purposes, been stolen from the wild as well. So, you know, we need to really be doing our bit at home. And that's what all these videos are here for. Hopefully, they will inspire you guys to actually have a go and try yourself. we've noticed over the last 2-3 years now, there's been far more people attempting to breed things and actually being successful as well. So it's really, really cool. You know, we need to try and do as much as we can. Awesome stuff. Right then. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, hit the like button. Makes a massive, massive difference. Also, as well, we have on Facebook, we have now opened up our own Facebook page called Dave's Little Beasties. Go over, follow the page. You know, everything that we do from now on will be on that page. If you want to message us for any reason whatsoever, that is the page to do it on. Do not go to the old Dave's Little Beasties page, because that one there, unfortunately, would only allow us to have 5,000 friends. Whereas if we go to a business page, which is what we've done now, anybody and everybody can follow. It's not a problem. We were very limited on what we could do with the other one. And that really is why we've changed over. So we've gone over to the business page, gives us much more flexibility and hopefully more interaction with you guys as well. That's the plan. So yeah, check that out. You will see we did post up a link. We will post up another one so that you can all get over and start following that page and join that page. We'd love to see you there. It'd be really cool. Right then, I think that's everything. Don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you soon, guys.